In Soaps.com's latest Young and Restless spoilers for Monday, February 10 through Friday, February 14, Victor explains why the highway is not an option. It's gotta be my way. In other developments, Deanne makes a bold move. Summer serves attitude galore. Nate works toward a family reunion. Phyllis sets parameters, and romance takes center stage as Genoa City celebrates Valentine's Day. Read about these teasers and more below. Young and Restless spoilers week of February 10. Young and Restless spoilers for Monday, February 10. Not content to stick it to Jack every chance he gets, and he gets a lot of chances. Victor undermines his archenemy's son, Kyle, too. With their dad contemplating the day that he'll no longer be around to protect his loved ones, Victoria and Nick discuss family matters. Since there's never a bad time to clear the air, Chelsea sets the record straight with Sharon. Restless rant. The crisis that changes everything for Nate and Damien. Plus, not one but two love triangles in the air as Valentine's Day approaches. Young and Restless spoilers for Tuesday, February 11. Not that he's ever felt obliged to justify anything he does, no matter how heinous, Victor defends his actions. Nate, perhaps forgetting the old saying about no good deed going unpunished, struggles to reunite Amy and Damien. When Diane takes matters into her own hands, all we can do is hope that a potential redo of the Abbott mansion turns out better than Billy's revamp of Catherine's home. Young and Restless spoilers for Wednesday, February 12. Green screen alert. But maybe Billy and Sally will be too into one another when they visit the City of Love to notice. Sharon gets the cold shoulder from Summer. Of course, if Phyllis' daughter really wanted to register her dislike of the woman who plotted to kill her brother, she'd probably go somewhere other than Crimson Lights for her coffee. Daniel faces a tough decision. Maybe this would be a good time to remind him that the only real direction is forward. Young and Restless spoilers for Thursday, February 13. Devin and Lily give Nate a warning about Damien, which all but guarantees that he'll ignore it, right? Phyllis sets boundaries, and here, we were not aware that there even is such a thing as boundaries. Holden reconnects with an old acquaintance. Could it be Lily, who's supposed to be crossing paths with her true love anytime now? Young and Restless spoilers for Friday, February 14. Love is in the air in Genoa City as old flames are revisited and new relationships are explored. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Pulse Canvas. It's me, Julie, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Summer Newman's inner bad girl will come out to play in the coming months. Although Summer has tried to put Kyle Abbott in the rearview mirror, she just won't be able to resist the pull she feels toward her ex-husband. Of course, Summer has built something new with Chance Chancellor, but that relationship has been complicated. Chance is a cop who likes to go by the book, so the Heather Stevens investigation has taken a toll on his romance with Summer. Although Summer agreed to let Chance take her to dinner sometime when they cleared the air, that doesn't mean they have a real future together. I&R's 2025 preview info for Summer is all about her wanting Kyle back and exploiting an opening to make a reunion happen. That tells us all we need to know about the lack of romantic content ahead for Summer and Chance. It's obvious that Summer's mind will be on her former flame instead of her more recent one. Summer will decide maybe she was too quick to let Kyle go, so she'll resolve to fight for him. Claire Newman will be standing in the way of Kyle and Summer's reunion, but Summer won't be afraid to scheme to get what she wants. The fact that Kyle and Claire are part of feuding families will be a factor as well. Summer will see the potential to exploit the Newman-Abbott conflict as she pursues Kyle again. At some point, Summer could make a bold move in her mission to reunite with Kyle. There may be a close moment where Summer decides to take a risk and dive in for a kiss. If Summer steals a Kyle lip lock, that might be the perfect moment for Chance and Claire to witness it. Even if Kyle ultimately pulls away, he might not do it fast enough for Claire's taste. That could leave Claire wondering if part of Kyle wants Summer back. As for Chance, he could decide things are over on the spot if he sees Summer stealing a smooch from Kyle. That could be the last straw that tells Chance it's time to move on, since he clearly isn't Summer's priority. Since we know Summer's going to channel Phyllis Summers with some of her upcoming decisions, it certainly wouldn't be surprising if she planted a kiss on Kyle. That's exactly the kind of thing Phyllis used to do with Danny Romalotti, so Summer may be next in line to throw herself at an ex and stir up jealousy. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Summer's going to get bolder with her behavior, so we'll pass along more romantic predictions and offer updates on any major couple news to come. We'll have other great Young and the Restless spoilers, predictions, news, and updates, so make us your favorite Y and our hotspot. On the Young and the Restless, a storm is brewing as Summer takes drastic measures to control Harrison's perception of Claire. What begins as an emotional plea for love and stability quickly morphs into a troubling narrative of manipulation and control, leaving Kyle torn between his son's well-being and the complexities of adult relationships. It all starts on a brisk autumn afternoon when young Harrison, overwhelmed by his emotions, expresses his deepest desire for Summer and Kyle to reunite. Despite his tender age, Harrison is perceptive. He has seen the once loving relationship between his father and Summer unravel due to her increasing obligations with the Newman family. The warmth and laughter that once surrounded their family have been replaced by distance and tension, and the young boy longs to restore the sense of belonging he once had. Determined to bring his parents back together, Harrison is unexpectedly caught in a power struggle when Kyle decides to introduce him to Claire. Kyle, hopeful that a meeting would foster understanding and ease tensions, brings Harrison along. But the moment the child lays eyes on Claire, his reaction is immediate and dramatic. His small face crumples, tears spill down his cheeks, and he cries out in distress, pleading for Summer instead. Summer seizes the opportunity. With a chilling sense of finality, she kneels beside Harrison and whispers words that carry a dangerous weight. "Stay away from Claire," she commands, her voice firm and unwavering. "She's bad news, Harrison. She's a monster who will only bring you pain." Though Summer's tone is protective, the true intent behind her words is far more sinister. Those closest to her begin to question whether she is genuinely safeguarding Harrison or subtly brainwashing him to ensure his loyalty remains with her. By painting Claire as a villain, she strengthens her hold over Harrison, ensuring that he sees the world only through the lens she provides. Kyle watches this unfold with unease. He had hoped that Claire's introduction would pave the way for healing, but instead, he finds himself in the middle of an emotional war zone. Harrison's devastated cries echo in his ears as he realizes the gravity of the situation. His son is not only caught in a battle between adults, but is also being used as a pawn in Summer's carefully orchestrated game. As the days pass, the aftermath of Summer's words takes hold. Harrison, once a lively and affectionate child, grows quieter, his bright eyes dimmed by confusion and fear. He avoids Claire entirely, clinging to Summer as if she alone is his only safe haven. The emotional weight of his mother's manipulation begins to settle in, leaving Kyle to wonder just how deep the damage runs. The Newman family, ever watchful, starts to whisper. Had Summer always harbored an intense dislike for Claire, or was this about something deeper, perhaps an attempt to regain control over a fractured relationship? As Kyle wrestles with his guilt and uncertainty, Summer continues to weave her influence over Harrison, ensuring that he remains devoted to her and her alone. In the weeks that follow, Kyle takes steps to mend the emotional wounds inflicted upon his son. Family counseling sessions are arranged, where uncomfortable truths are laid bare. Kyle acknowledges his missteps, realizing that in his attempt to find peace, he may have unknowingly thrown Harrison into the middle of a conflict too complex for a child to navigate. But even as healing begins, the echoes of Summer's manipulation remain, casting a long shadow over their fractured family. As the saga unfolds, one question lingers: was Summer's intervention truly an act of love, or was it a calculated move to ensure that she remains the most important person in Harrison's world? The lines between protection and control blur, leaving those around them questioning how far one woman is willing to go to get what she wants. The Young and the Restless. Ian Ward's shocking return. Is death the end? In the tumultuous world of The Young and the Restless, nothing is certain, and death seems to be just a gateway to bigger surprises. One question that is rocking the fan community is Ian Ward really leaving the show forever? A recent episode left viewers stunned when Ian, the cunning and unpredictable villain, seemingly rose from the dead in an ambulance. This raises a big question. Is Ian's death really the end of his story, or just another chapter in a never-ending series of conspiracies? Ian Ward's return, a revenge plan in motion. The return of Ian Ward on The Young and the Restless is one of those dramatic twists that viewers can't miss. This dangerous villain, who once caused so much trouble for Genoa City, is now preparing a revenge plan that no one could have predicted. As rumors of Ian's appearance begin to spread, worries about the consequences of his confrontation with Victor Newman flare up once again. With an ambition for revenge, because Victor once intended to kill him, Ian will not let things end easily this time. But Ian is no longer a lone wolf acting recklessly. He has been hiding in the shadows, meticulously planning his ultimate attack, targeting every important link of the Newman family. He won't immediately reveal himself. Instead, he will make Victor suffer little by little, gradually breaking him down, without even knowing who is really pulling the strings. Ian's target isn't just Victor, it's everyone he loves, from his family to Newman Enterprises. A silent but fierce war is being drawn up. A long-awaited showdown, Victor versus Ian. Ian's temporary disappearance does not mean he has given up. In fact, the writers of The Young and the Restless are building the perfect scenario, choosing the right moment for Ian to return with a fatal blow, perhaps appearing when Victor feels the safest. This confrontation between Ian Ward and Victor Newman is a battle of pride, ambition, and survival. The mind games between them have made for some of the show's most breathtaking moments, thanks to the talented performances of actors Eric Braeden and Ray Wise. Victor is a symbol of power in Genoa City, a man who is not easily defeated. But Ian? He may be Victor's most dangerous enemy yet. Can Ian's plan finally make Victor fall, or will Victor once again defeat his enemy as he has before? One thing is certain: when Ian returns, Genoa City will never be the same again. The ultimate twist: Ian Ward's death, or was it? The tension reached its peak when Ian Ward confronted Victor Newman at the Newman farm. Nikki Newman, Sharon Newman, and Maria Copeland watched as sharp words quickly turned violent. Gunshots rang out, and both Ian and Victor collapsed. When the ambulance arrived, Ian Ward was pronounced dead. For a moment, relief washed over Nikki, Sharon, and Mariah. Victor, though injured, believed that the nightmare was finally over. But then, a shocking moment in the ambulance. As the paramedics examined Ian's body, something strange happened. A twitch, a weak breath, his eyes opened. This cannot be a coincidence. What's next? Ian's next move. If Ian Ward is truly still alive, what does this mean for the people who opposed him? His first target will undoubtedly be Victor Newman, his ultimate enemy. But he won't stop there. Nikki, Sharon, and Mariah are all on his list. Mariah, having suffered at Ian's hands before, will likely be the most terrified of his return. But Victor? Victor will never go down without a fight. 3 possible scenarios for Ian's return. Ian fakes his death. He had this planned all along. Now, he watches his enemies from the shadows, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. A mysterious ally helps him escape, Someone in the shadows could have assisted him. Could an old enemy of Victor be working with Ian? Ian is really dead, but his final plan is still in motion. Even if he never returns, his legacy of destruction may still haunt the Newmans. The calm before the storm. For now, the Newman family believes they are safe. Nikki, Sharon, and Mariah try to move on. Victor, despite his injuries, believes the war is over, but it's never over. As long as Ian Ward is out there, the storm is coming. And this time, it may be the most intense battle the Newman family has ever faced. The Young and the Restless spoilers and updates pose a question: is Ian Ward really leaving the show for good? That's what viewers are wondering when a shocking sight of Ian, seemingly rising from the dead in the ambulance, took place on a recent episode. The Young and the Restless spoilers: people always come back from the dead in Genoa City. The sensational CBS soap has certainly kept its audience on the edge of their seats in recent weeks. This week was no exception, as the drama unfolded with Ian and the Newman family at the ranch. In a tense showdown, both Victor Newman and Ian were shot, their fates hanging by a thread. When the ambulances arrived, Ian was declared dead, bringing a sense of closure to Nikki Newman, Sharon Newman, and Mariah Copeland. But wait, does this truly mean Ian is gone for good? In the unpredictable world of Genoa City, comebacks from the dead are practically a tradition. Y&R spoilers: Ian Ward's not dead. Y&R fans can breathe a little easier, but not for long. The show put an end to the speculation about Ian's fate in a shocking twist at the episode's conclusion. Just when viewers thought the villain was gone for good, Ian opened his eyes in the ambulance, confirming he's very much alive. The show has cleverly left the door ajar for Ian's return, hinting at future chaos. As February sweeps approach next week, the writers might be plotting a surprise attack on the unsuspecting Newman family. Meanwhile, Nikki, Victor, Sharon, and Mariah are celebrating what they believe to be Ian's demise. But in the soap opera universe, peace is often just the calm before the storm. The Young and the Restless spoilers: a villain everyone loves to hate. Ian might be off the radar for a bit as the writers strategize the perfect moment to bring him back into the spotlight of Genoa City. The showdown between Ian and Victor was pure soap opera magic, and it's all thanks to the incredible performances of their actors. Eric and Ray truly delivered in those intense scenes. While we can't help but applaud Eric for his iconic portrayal of Victor, Ray deserves a standing ovation this time. He embodied the villainous Ian so brilliantly that we found ourselves loving to despise him. In his interactions with Victor and the Newman family, Ray's performance almost had us cheering for Ian to emerge victorious. The Young and the Restless spoilers for next week's episodes of the hit CBS soap tease love, romance, and secrets are in the air. February sweeps are falling a bit flat on Y&R after a dramatic January featuring Ian Jordan. The demise of the two evil villains kept the drama coming, especially the jaw-dropping moment involving Ian. However, the first week of February sweeps only brought the Damien and Holden twist. That story moves full steam ahead, as does Diane's determination to redecorate the Abbott family home. Here's what's happening on The Young and the Restless next week. Victor won't back down. After Jordan and Ian were gone, Victor returned to his old tricks in half a second. Victor came for Jack when he stopped by the ranch to check on Nikki. The mustache's disdain for Jack extends to Kyle. Victor puts Kyle in his place during a dinner with Claire. After Victor undermines Kyle, he is forced to defend his actions to Claire, Nikki, and Victoria. The latest drama with Victor leads Victoria and Nick to discuss various family matters. Will the real Damien please stand up? Damien may have agreed to meet with Nate, but it is far from smooth sailing. Nate fights with his new brother to reunite with Amy. Little does Nate or Amy know that Damien has a trick up his sleeve to deal with his family. Meanwhile, we get more insight into Holden's past as a secret Genoa City connection comes to light. When Lily and Devin hear the latest in the Damien saga, they give Nate a serious warning. Other Y&R tidbits. Chelsea clears the air with Sharon. Speaking of Sharon, she gets the cold shoulder from Summer. Phyllis sets boundaries, but we aren't quite sure why or who she sets them with. Y&R spoilers reveal Daniel struggles to make a life decision. Perhaps Phyllis sets boundaries with or for him. Valentine's Day hits the CBS soap with Billy and Sally spending the holiday in Paris. Old flames reignite in Genoa City, and new flames emerge on the day of love. Make sure to tune in daily to see what happens next on the daytime drama. The Young and the Restless airs on weekdays on CBS. Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Daniel begins to feel uneasy when he realizes that his mother, Phyllis Summers, seems to have some ulterior motives for working with Billy Abbott again. Deep down, Daniel knows that Phyllis is not the type to let go of the past, especially when that past is filled with mistakes and hurt. Billy and Phyllis had a very troubled relationship, and this makes Daniel wonder, why is his mother willing to step into dangerous territory again? Daniel can't shake the feeling that Phyllis has an agenda, an ulterior motive that she is hiding. Her deliberate approach to Billy, who has caused so much trouble in her life, makes Daniel even more wary. He wonders if his mother is still attracted to Billy, or if this is simply a business decision. Meanwhile, in a private conversation, Chloe Mitchell feels the need to warn Sally Spectra about Billy Abbott and his past with Phyllis. Sally may think she knows her boyfriend, but Chloe knows that nothing is certain when it comes to Billy. Chloe recounts the scandalous story of Billy and Phyllis, a relationship that began when Phyllis was still married to Billy's brother, Jack Abbott. The betrayal was a shock not only to Jack, but to the entire Abbott family and many others in Genoa City. Their affair was filled with passion, secrets, and ultimately deep hurt. While they were together, they not only hurt those around them, but also put themselves in difficult situations. Chloe wants to share more than just a story. She also wants to warn Sally that Billy has a tendency to get into intense but troubled relationships. He and Phyllis were hot and steamy, but it ended badly, Chloe says. And the worrying thing is, they always find a way back to each other. Chloe's warning makes Sally think. She wonders if Daniel is also having the same doubts as her. Is Billy really over Phyllis, or is there still some spark between them? And more importantly, should Sally be worried about her own relationship? In a shocking episode of Asterisk, The Young and the Restless Asterisk, Summer Newman reveals a shocking secret about Harrison. The boy's DNA test results bring shocking news, leaving Kyle Abbott completely stunned. This truth not only threatens Kyle and Summer's relationship, but could change Harrison's life forever. Kyle immediately sets out to find answers, determined to clear things up. Can he face this heartbreaking truth, or will this be the shock that tears his family apart? In a stunning turn of events, The Young and the Restless has bid farewell to Diane Jenkins, who was found dead just an hour ago. Fans are reeling from the news, as Diane's journey on the soap opera has been filled with twists, betrayals, and unexpected resurrections. According to early reports, Diane's passing was peaceful, a stark contrast to the chaos that often surrounded her life in Genoa City. However, in the world of Y&R, nothing is ever as simple as it seems. Was this truly a natural death, or is there more to the story? With Kyle Abbott now grieving the loss of his mother and Jack Abbott left shattered, the aftermath of Diane's death is sure to send shockwaves through the Abbott family and beyond. As secrets unravel and suspicions rise, one question remains. Is this really the end for Diane, or is another shocking twist on the horizon? Damon King's arrival in The Young and the Restless has created a storm of intrigue and speculation. Initially introduced as a promising new player in Genoa City, Damon was offered a position at Winters Corporation by Nate Hastings. However, in a shocking twist, the man viewers believed to be Damon was revealed to be an imposter named Holden. On February 3rd, Jermaine Rivers stepped out of the shadows to expose the truth. Damon had sent Holden in his place for unknown reasons. This revelation has left fans questioning Damon's true motives and what his deception could mean for the powerful figures of Genoa City. The reason behind Damon's elaborate scheme remains unclear, but it appears he had suspicions about Nate's offer and decided to test the situation by sending Holden in his place. By keeping himself in the background, Damon has been secretly observing everyone involved, particularly Nate. While Nate's intentions in reconnecting with his half-brother seemed genuine, his decision to hide the truth about Holden could backfire. If Damon finally reveals himself, Nate's lies may create tension between them and make it even harder for them to reconcile. With so many secrets already in play, Damon's ultimate agenda remains an enigma, raising questions about whether he is a calculating mastermind or someone protecting a deeper truth. Damon's arrival could signal a major power shift in Genoa City, with figures like Victor Newman, Jack Abbott, and Devon Hamilton potentially becoming targets of his unknown plan. If he is pursuing revenge or a personal vendetta, the entire city could be in danger. Meanwhile, evidence suggests Damon has ties to shady financial dealings, making his return even more suspicious. Victor has already started investigating Damon's true identity, while Jack fears Gibbot Corporation may be at risk. As tension builds, it becomes clear that Damon's presence is not just a simple return. It's a calculated move that will shake Genoa City to its core. Amid the deception, Lily Winters finds herself entangled in a complicated romance with Holden, believing he is Damon. Unaware of the truth, Lily starts to fall for him, but Holden unexpectedly develops real feelings for her, complicating his mission. When the truth inevitably comes out, Lily will be devastated, feeling betrayed yet again after her painful past. Holden, torn between loyalty to Damon and his love for Lily, faces an impossible choice. Damon, unwilling to let emotions interfere with his plan, warns Holden not to waver. Now, Lily must decide whether to cut ties with Holden completely or take a chance on love despite the lies, knowing that either choice comes with significant consequences. The battle for control of Newman Enterprises has ignited tensions in Genoa City, with whispers that Victor Newman's reign may be coming to an end. The possibility of his death or permanent departure has sent shockwaves through the company, shaking the foundation of power that has long been taken for granted. Adam Newman, always ambitious and calculating, sees this as his opportunity to seize control. Believing himself to be the rightful heir to Victor's empire, Adam envisions a future where he leads Newman Enterprises with ruthless efficiency. However, his vision is met with fierce opposition from Nikki, Nick, and Victoria, who see Adam's leadership as a threat to the family's unity and legacy. Nikki, in particular, refuses to accept Adam's rise to power, fearing his cold ambition will destroy the family's bond. She argues that Newman Enterprises should not be ruled solely by corporate greed, but by the strength and integrity of the Newman family. The battle extends beyond family loyalty and into the boardroom, where alliances shift and strategies unfold. While Adam insists that his leadership would make Newman Enterprises stronger, Nikki and her allies warn of the chaos and destruction his rule could bring. The company becomes a battleground of warring factions, with each side determined to protect their version of the Newman legacy. Despite Adam's confidence in his impending takeover, an unexpected twist threatens to derail his plans. Rumors that Victor may not be finished after all. If Victor were to return, all of Adam's careful scheming would crumble, and his path to power would be blocked once again. This looming uncertainty fuels speculation among investors and media outlets, intensifying the power struggle within the Newman family. Meanwhile, Adam's once polished rhetoric begins to reveal his true nature, His hunger for dominance outweighs any familial ties, turning his quest for leadership into a battle driven by greed and self-interest. As the corporate war rages on, the Newman family must confront their deepest conflicts, questioning what truly defines loyalty, power, and inheritance. Nikki and her children fight to uphold the values Victor instilled, while Adam refuses to back down, determined to claim his throne at any cost. With Victor's fate still unknown, the stakes have never been higher. Will the Newman family crumble under the weight of its own ambition, or will they find a way to preserve their legacy? As alliances shift and betrayals unfold, one thing remains clear: in Genoa City, power is never just about business, it's about survival. Claire arrives at the Abbott mansion and Kyle lets her in, greeting her with a kiss. She updates him that Victor is home and is Oak. Kyle mentions lunch as Diane and Jack walk in. They're glad everyone is Oak and that she's joining them for lunch. Jack notes that sitting around the dining room table has always been important to the Abbotts. Summer kisses Daniel on the cheek and sits with him at Crimson Lights. She has paint on her face from being with Harrison and gushes about how much fun they had. She called Daniel because she wanted to spend time with him. He wishes he had a job and fills her in on the Billy show, warning that their mom is ready to bite. He's not there yet. Daniel's not keen to work with a guy who's mostly talk. Summer thinks their mom really wants this, and she can be hard to say no to. She suggests he let her down gently before she puts out a press release announcing his new title. Daniel doesn't have a problem with their mom, it's Billy. He doesn't want to get on that roller coaster. He wishes he had an alternative to offer their mother. She's a handful, but they've worked together successfully in the past. They balance each other out, and it would be fun to create something new with her. At Billy's place, he tells Phyllis they won't come out of the gate big, but instead they'll stay small and focus on these certain streamers. They'll branch out in ways Newman Media can't. Phyllis reminds him he said he was done going after Adam and Victor. If he's just using this company to attack them, she's out. Billy says they can't ignore one of the biggest players. Phyllis won't do the dueling pistols between Abbott's and Newman's. She warns if Daniel gets a whiff of revenge, he'd be out. Billy will make his media company into the antithesis of Newman Media. They won't be merciless like Victor. Billy wants to build a company that his father, John Abbott, could be proud of. Phyllis wants that too. She loves the idea of them being the anti-Newmans. Let them be deceitful. Daniel will like it, and Noble will be a new look for her. He suggests Abbott Media as the name, and she tries to get Summers into it, but Billy warns her not to push her luck. They talk about how Daniel fits in. Phyllis says he needs a new direction, and it's up to them to help him find it. At the old ranch, Chelsea and Adam bring Connor in and welcome him home. He marvels, home. It sounds weird, but it feels pretty good. Chelsea hopes he'll start setting up his room. Adam knows he was nervous about moving there and asks how he's feeling. Connor's excited now that he knows they'll both be there with him. Connor goes off upstairs and Adam and Chelsea agree this is good, though she's less enthusiastic. She thinks they need to be careful that Connor doesn't think they're a couple. Adam heard her the first 20 times she said that and insists he'll respect her boundaries. He teases about it being torture to live with him. She chides that having her own wing will help. She tells him they have too much healing to do from their breakups before they could ever consider another relationship. At the ranch, Victoria brings Victor some water and fusses over him. Her father insists he's fine. She asks what he was thinking about. He tells her, "How close I came to dying." He muses that life doesn't always go according to how they plan it. They'll have to talk about the future. Victoria doesn't even want to think about him and Mom not being with them anymore. She doesn't want to talk about this now. She was angry with him earlier about Claire and Kyle, and she almost walked out the door without saying goodbye. But then he hugged her. "I never want to lose you. Never." Victor touches her face. "I adore you. Someday, you'll have to." Victoria says, "Not today though, right?" She says if they ever part ways angry and something happens to him, she wants him to remember how much she loves him. Now, can we please be done with this conversation? Victor wants to be pragmatic. This was a close call, but I adore you. Victoria replies, "I love you." Victor tells Victoria it would make him happy to see his children all getting along. He brings up Adam. Victoria was impressed to see him step up to try and protect him, and he's dedicated to Connor. But things are going good for him right now. He's still the Adam they all know. He's volatile, so she won't ever fully be able to trust him. If one thing goes wrong, he wants to burn everything down. At the Abbott mansion, around the table, Jack talks about Ashley being in Paris on business, and Tracy and Alan being in Chicago. Diane teases that Jack loves the house being full of family. They're thankful for Harrison. Talk turns to John Abbott, and Claire would love to hear more about him. Jack would love to tell her about his father. He shares an old story about John teaching him about choices and trust when he took his car. Later, he gave him the keys to the car. He was the best father ever. It's their job now to build more memories in this house. Maybe, if they're lucky, Claire will be part of that. Claire asks Kyle if he has any stories about his grandfather. Kyle wishes he did, but he was only around him for a short time. They agree he was the best as Billy comes in. "Are we talking about the old man?" he asks. Jack says Claire wanted to know more about him. Diane offers him food, but Billy just wants a few minutes with Jack. Diane, Claire, and Kyle file out and leave them to talk. Billy tells Jack, "I know what I want to do, and I know how to do it." He wants to talk details about funding. At the old ranch, Adam tells Chelsea they'll make the house into their own, as a co-parenting family. Chelsea's unnerved by the idea of living in a compound of Victor's, but Connor will be safe there and close to Johnny. Adam thanks her agreeing to this and promises his father won't bother her. Chelsea reminds him when Victor wants something, he's relentless. What he wants right now is for them to reunite. Connor walks in and asks if they can go visit his grandfather. Adam and Connor insist that Chelsea join them. Connor, Adam, and Chelsea join Victor and Victoria at the new ranch and tell him he looks well. Connor wants to know if it hurt to be shot. Victor says it hurts when he laughs. He vows to protect Connor always. They'd bump fists. Phyllis joins Summer and Daniel and announces she has very exciting news. It's happening. Daniel asks, "What's happening?" Phyllis just had an exciting meeting with Billy about Abbott Communications. He has such great ideas about how to launch a breakout media company. This is a game changer, she insists to Daniel. We can just create. She asks him to shelve his distrust and disdain for Billy and do this with her. Summer loves her enthusiasm and that she wants to help Daniel. But working with Billy, does she really think that's a good idea? It got pretty ugly between them when they broke up. Phyllis waves off her concern. They're good friends now and are the only ones who believed in each other when no one else did. Phyllis insists they've mellowed and know their differences and similarities. This will bring them into the big time. Daniel asks if he's to believe Billy won't use this new company to go after Newman. Phyllis told him she wouldn't stand for that, and he agreed. She gushes that Daniel's creativity could run wild. He needs focus and to do what he loves. They've been through such hell as a family. She really wants this to work for all of them. At the Abbott mansion, Billy asks Jack, "What do you think?" Jack wants to know if this has anything to do with payback for the Newmans. Billy says it's not. It's about building something of his own. Jack, smiling, asks how much this is going to cost him. Billy has already sent him an email with the proposal. It will be worth every penny. At the ranch, Victor tells Connor how happy he is that they moved there. Victoria remarks on him being close to Johnny. Connor asks to check out the games room and takes off. Victor asks Adam and Chelsea if they're all moved in. Chelsea says it's beautiful, thank you. Victor asks to speak to Adam alone. Victoria and Chelsea file out. Victor tells Adam, "There's something I need from you, son." In the parlor, Chelsea asks Victoria how she's holding up after what happened the other night. Victoria remarks on how close they came to a tragedy. Chelsea asks how Claire is doing. Vicky says she's strong under the circumstances. Chelsea tells Victoria she helped her make her decision about moving into the ranch. She'll do anything for her son, so here I am. In the main room, Victor asks Adam to downplay what happened with Ian Ward on all Newman media platforms. And no mention of that Jordan woman, got it? The last thing they need is a bunch of reporters at the gate. Adam's already taken care of it. That's why he went to Newman Media after they met this morning. Victor says, "Good boy." Later, Victor tells Connor, Victoria, and Chelsea they're welcome anytime. Victoria reminds them if they need anything, she's just across the field. They file out, and Victor asks his daughter about her talk with Chelsea. She says it was mom talk. She thinks this might be good, but warns they're not getting back together. Victor says, "Not yet." At the Abbott mansion, Kyle shows Claire a photo of Harrison painting that Summer sent him. He walks over to show Diane, who is distracted. She announces that the house could use a sprucing up. Kyle reminds her his father just took a walk down memory lane. Good luck convincing him. Diane responds, "Challenge accepted." In the dining room, Jack tells Billy he's proud of him and their father would be too. Billy tells him that's everything and all he's ever wanted. They embrace. Jack's sorry he ever felt otherwise. Get out there. Go prove yourself. Be great. Billy thanks him for looking at the proposal, potentially funding it, and believing in him. Jack says their father told him to believe in himself, and he's passing on the same advice. Believe in yourself. I do. They hug again. At Crimson Lights, Phyllis tries to convince Daniel that he needs to get back into the world again. She points out he's had a hard time getting a job. Summer protests, but Daniel appreciates her honesty. Phyllis tells him to forget about the Billy factor. They won't let him weaponize the company. To hell with Billy. Summer raises an eyebrow. Really? Phyllis says, "Don't tell him I said that." She would do anything for her kids and tells Daniel she'll never give up on him. What can she say to make him get on board?